Hello, good day. My name is Larry. I want to talk about an important matter that affects everybody in this world. But I want to assure you, I will always say the fact. It is a known fact that the population of this world is approximately 6 billion. It is also an undisputable fact that we have four or five different races in this world. It depends on how you want to categorize it. Also, we also have sub races. We can narrow it down to tribes. We have many tribes in this world. Also, we have many countries in this world. But the difference between the countries and the races or the tribe is that the countries are artificial. They were mapped out by individuals or group of individuals. But for the races, they are natural, absolutely natural. The origin of the races are unknown. They are not on record. Nobody can tell you the history of the races. They are undocumented. But the countries, many countries have histories. They are on record. Also, I want to tell you another fact that in this world there is injustice. There is high level of inequity and there is unfairness in this world. So this will lead me to the topic that I want to talk about. There was a time in this world where some people or a particular region, because they are more sophisticated than the other parts, they are more civilized, they are more economically buoyant than the other parts. So because of this, it is natural for them to move to this uncivilized or less civilized region and dominate them. This is what we now call colonization. Also, let me tell you another fact that we all have a way of life. Our way of life is majorly guided by our race or a sub-race or the tribe. This is peculiar to a particular region or tribe, and it might be similar or different to other regions or races or tribes. So, in this era that I'm referring to, these regions that are very sophisticated due to their level of sophistication and their economy prowess, they were able to move to other regions that are uncivilized or less civilized and dominate and colonize them. By doing so, they were able to impose their own way of life on these other regions. This is how religion came into existence. Religion is not natural. Religion is not spiritual, which means you can be spiritual and not be religious, and you can be religious and not spiritual. What I'm telling you is a fact, and I stand to be challenged or corrected. In those days, the Europeans, particularly the British, they came to Africa with the aim of colonizing them, and they give them the way of life. They package it and brand it as religion. There is nothing natural about it. At a particular point in time, it was the Spanish. They came to a particular region and colonized them. At a particular point in time, it was the French, it was the German. At a particular point in time, it was the Middle East. They came to Africa, which is less civilized than them and less sophisticated than them, and they colonized. They recolonized because some part of the African continents were already colonized by the British, but they had to recolonize because they have the power and they are well sophisticated. So we should begin to ask ourselves, why is it that in India or in China we don't have this popular religion, which is Muslim and the Christians. Yeah, because the Chinese, they refused to be fully colonized. Even though there was an attempt to colonize them, but they still retained their culture, they still retained their language, and they were still able to retain their religion, which is their way of life. But now they have packaged it as a religion, but in the recent, it is their way of life. Christianity is the way of life of the British or of the Europeans. Islam is the way of life of the Arabs. Every tribe, every race has their own way of life. But their problem is they don't have that level of sophistication to package it and brand it as religion, unlike what the other developed regions have done. So that is just it. The Bible and the Quran will only tell you about the history of those regions. For example, the Bible will not tell you about the blacks because it is not connected with the blacks. The Quran also will only tell you about what happened in the Middle East, and they will not connect us to the blacks, which means we blacks also have their way of life. But because we don't have that power, because we are not economically buoyant, so we are unable to package it and even take it to other parts of the world. So religion is not natural. It's about how sophisticated you are. It's about how economically buoyant you are. We know now that Chinese is also coming up as a very sophisticated country. If Chinese are able to succeed in this, if China comes to Africa, those countries they are going to conquer in the next few years, we also practice Buddhism, we also practice their religion. So it's about conqueror, it's about colonialism, it's nothing natural. If Britain did not colonize a particular country, that country would not be Christian dominated country. Definitely, I know there are other ways with which you can, convert from one. It depends on your circumstance, but there is nothing natural about this. If the British did not come to Africa, we would not be practicing Christianity. They, of course, told us that, in the Bible, you have to propagate the whole world to spread. But in the recent, if you understand the story of the Bible, you will know there is no connection of this Bible to we black people. It is for them. The Quran is for the Middle East. We have our own. But it's unfortunate we have lost connection because we were unable to document it because of this unfairness. We've lost it. Even our traditional rulers, the custodian of religion, of traditions, have lost it. So my point is, religion is the greatest scam in the history of mankind. There is no originality in it. Obviously, we all have a way of life which we are living, but because they have high level of sophistication, they are economically buoyant, they were able to go to other regions and impose their own way of life as a religion. That is why nowadays, when you talk about the religious country, look at Africa, countries who has no connection with the religion, the so-called religion itself. And when you look at the least religious countries in this world, we talk about the Europe, and the origin of this religion came from there. So it is like an irony. So I want to tell you, I stand to be corrected or to be challenged that there is no spirituality in religion, there is no originality in religion. It's just a way of life of some particular people who have high level of sophistication, and they are also economically buoyant, which made them to, package their way of life, propagate it to other people that are less civilized or even uncivilized. So that is where we are now. That is why you can now see that people are so religious in the other side because they are helpless. There is no connection from their history to this particular religion. We have our way of life in Africa. We have our way of life. Nobody can trace the origin of the way of life because they are peculiar to each race or region. But we did not have that prowess, economic prowess, to package it and even to export it. They export their way of life to us as a religion. So religion is artificial, it's a scam. We all have our way of life that we have to live. Thank you.